Hi guys, welcome to Excellent Vlogs. My name is Christopher, a poultry mentor. Please subscribe, comment, like and share this video.
Yeah guys, please subscribe, comment, like and share. So today's video is about questions and answers.
Yes.
So I have a WhatsApp group and one of our members is asking.
Yes.
Her name is Jane.
Okay.
Jane is asking, my 1-month-old chick has whitish and red poop.
Now, for Jane's issue is that her chicken are suffering from something called coccidia, and coccidia normally comes via feed or now the water you're giving your chicks. So coccidia is normally transmitted by flies, whereby if your chicken are feeding, the feed they're feeding on has got their own poop. What is going to happen is that a fly will actually come to feed on that poop, okay, and release the protozoa, that is the coccidia eggs there. So when your chick is going to feed on the feed that is contaminated with their poop, what is going to happen? It's going to ingest the eggs. So the eggs will actually hatch, and then what is going to happen is that the eggs will disrupt the gut lining. That is why you start seeing the whitish poop first. Then the next stage is when they find the blood vessels on the gut lining. That is when you now start seeing blood in the poop. Now, for what Jane can actually do is to look at how she's feeding her chicks. The water and the feeder and the drinker should be raised, okay, depending on the size of the chick. So that now when you raise the feeder and the drinker, what is going to happen is that the chick is going to now have feed that is not contaminated with their poop. So the issue of coccidia will not be available. So that is what Jane is supposed to do. Now, because Jane, your chicks are having this issue, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the agrovet, okay, and have the agrovet to give you something we call amprolium, okay, or S-dime, okay, so that that is actually anticoccidial drugs, so that now you can actually treat your chicks. But before that, you look at the cause, and the root cause is contamination of the feed by the chicken poop. So that is what you're going to do, Jane.
That's good. Sam is asking.
Yes.
Every time I purchase day-old chicks, they die in a week or two.
Now, for some, the question is actually a bit related to genes, because now they might be dying because of either sickness, because you have infection like coccidia, okay, or a bacterial infection, or when you're preparing your brooder, the first thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to sanitize the brooder, to be very well sanitized. 3 days before, you sanitize it very well, okay. Now, if some did not sanitize it, disinfect it, actually what is going to happen is that all the bacteria, the fungi and the viruses will affect the chicken, and that is, they will come up with death. That is, each and every other day you'll find 2 or 3 chicks are dying. Okay, now for the coccidia part, or for the bacterial coccidial part, can also be a cause because the feed is contaminated. So some, you're supposed to look at brooder management, whereby you're supposed to disinfect the brooder before the chicks arrive. Number 2, you're supposed to look at feed contamination. Okay. Number 3, you're supposed to look at the brooder heat, the heat. You're supposed to give your chicks at least 21 days heat, okay, brooding heat, so that now at least the chicks, when they develop very well, you can now start training them the day and night, okay, so that they can actually feed during the day and they can actually sleep during the night without heat. So you need to train them. So when they are too young, you're supposed to give them heat. So if you're not giving them heat, your chicks will actually die, okay. So for some, I think you're supposed to do that, so that at least your chicks can actually survive.
Yes. Okay. Question number 3.
Yes.
Which items would you recommend when brooding?
Now, there are some few things you're supposed to consider when you know that you're going to have chicks or day-old chicks in a day or two. So number 1, you're supposed to have a well build a brooder. Okay. Number 2, you're supposed to have something like vitamins. Okay. You need to have equipment. Okay. You need to have feed available, that is either chick mash or starter crumbs available. Okay. And you also need now clean water. So when your chicks are to arrive, that is what you're supposed to do. So you're supposed to have those things so that when the chicks arrive, you don't start going to look for those things. You already have them, so you just have to do what you call chick placement. Okay. So you can also include brooder heat. Okay. So those are the requirements that you actually need. People are calling them starter packs. So it's just a collection of things that you require when you're brooding. Yes. So that is that.
Okay, number 4.
Yes.
My 2-month-old chick has a swollen eye and it is teary.
Now, I have my chicken here. Okay. Now, this is pure kienyeji. So if your chick has got a swollen eye, that is either both eyes or one side, that means your chicken has got something we call coryza. Okay. Now, coryza normally it's normally called it's avian cold, homa ya kuku. Okay. So what you're going to do about it, we first of all look at the cause of how coryza normally comes to your poultry farm. Okay. Number 1, it normally comes either you currently have a flock at home, then you brought a new chicken or a cock or other flock from outside your farm now to your existing flock. So you're going to transmit. There's always a technique or a way that you're supposed to now keep the new flock before you start incorporating to the old flock. So if you just mix them, you're going to get coryza. Okay, coryza is actually a bacterial infection of poultry. It normally affects the respiratory system of the poultry, of the hen, okay, or the chick. So what is going to happen now is that if you brought a new flock, you're going to infect your current flock, or your farm worker was in another farm, poultry farm, that had the infection and came to your farm without now looking at the biosecurity. Now, if you start looking for such entry points of coryza, the first thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to correct that issue. So number 1, don't bring a new flock to your existing flock. You're supposed to keep them separately. Number 2, your farm worker or yourself need to sanitize. Okay, have a dust coat, have boots, have something we call a foot bath, so that you don't bring up pathogens from outside your farm to inside your farm. So let us now deal with this coryza. So for this coryza, what you're going to happen is this. You're going to treat it with antibiotics. So number 1, you're going to go to the agrovet, buy antibiotics, and then you're going to administer antibiotics, okay, in the water. Number 2, if the eye is swollen, okay, you can try and remove the pus gently. Okay, you can try and remove the pus gently, because what is happening is that it's an accumulation of pus. Okay, that is why you get the swelling. Okay, so you can try and remove. Okay, now after removing the pus, what is going to happen is that you're going to take the solution of antibiotics, you put in water, and you give it like 2 or 3 drops 3 times in a day, and then your coryza will at least be treated at least in 5 days time. So that is what you're going to do to deal with the coryza.
Okay, thank you. That's our last part. Please guys, you have any questions, write down in the comment section and we are going to discuss about it.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Yes, bye.